Hello everyone, this is Anish Arif, an emerging educationist from Pakistan. My expertise are basically in higher education and the professional development of the faculty. Here I am presenting the case from Common Christian College of Chartered University, which happens to be my alma mater and my previous workplace as well. So I will be talking about the open education resources for Coursepacks. Let's begin with the agenda for today. So in this lightning talk, we will be talking about how to develop OERs for Coursepacks at your institute with the help of our contextualized survey. And then the top faculty challenges and how to encourage the faculty's usage of OERs based on our survey results. Before we dig into the results and everything, let's talk about what exactly OERs is. So OERs are. So basically, this is one definition from UNESCO. Open education resources are learning, teaching, and research materials in any format and medium that resides in the public domain or are under the copyright that has been released under an open license that permits no cost access, reuse, repurpose, adaptation, and redistribution by users. So here we talked about and different formats, and these are the couple of formats that I've written for your convenience as well. It can be textbook, it can be curriculum, so syllabus, lecture notes, MOOCs, educational games, simulations, and tutorials with practice exercises, assignment, text, project, audio, video, and animations. But why do we really need to use OERs? Firstly, it's free, it's accessible, it's customizable, and it's adaptable. So, like I said, I'm from Pakistan, and here we are a developing nation, and right now it's difficult for students to afford expensive textbooks, and even for teachers to recommend those expensive textbooks and course materials to the students for teaching purposes and learning purposes. So this is where OERs got our interest, and now I'm going to talk about how exactly we at Farman Christian College developed a survey. So few of our library members and CLT personals were participated in Open Education 2022 conference early back in the year, and then they took inspiration for working on OERs. So the first thing that our university did was to get the two sample surveys from Gonzaga University and American University of Beirut. We created our own survey by adapting and remixing these surveys, and of course with modifications for our context as well. And out of the 315 faculty members, 183 faculty members responded to our survey. So I will be talking about a few responses. This is why I wanted to quote that the representation of the faculty. Our survey basically focused on the current practices, faculty's awareness regarding OERs, and the faculty's willingness and readiness regarding OER. So this was basically the first, you can say, need assessment or the first basic baseline survey to understand faculty's perception of OERs. So what were the challenges that faculty quoted? Faculty talked about the lack of expertise in to search the OERs, the limited availability of OER resources, the lack of knowledge about the quality and licensing, the lack of ICT skills to adapt, reuse, or remix materials. These challenges became the building blocks of our workshop material, which I'll be talking further. Note that I added this bonus slide because a lot of faculty thought that these platforms you see over here, these are the OER platforms, but no, they are not the OER platforms. So this is just something for your information. Moving forward, now what are the ways to encourage OER usage amongst the faculty? First of all, if you are a library personnel, if you're a CLT person, or if you are somebody from the administration of in higher education institute, you can see what are the things that you can do in your capacity. Here I've just broken it down. The library people, they have to develop the OER tools and resources for the faculty. They also can provide individual support in developing the OER course pack for the faculty. What can CLT do? CLT here can facilitate the awareness sessions, information sessions, the hands-on workshops. They can also boost faculty's motivation and interest by giving them the certificates for participation in the workshop sessions. They can also motivate the faculty by introducing the appreciation awards. So these are some things that CLT can do. And then on an institution level, the appropriate policies to support the usage of OERs are very important, because without the policies in place, faculty might not be too much motivated to learn something new and then work towards that. Secondly is the networking support as well. By networking support, I particularly mean the internet bandwidth here, because in the third world countries and in the developing countries, sometimes there is an internet disruption. So this is something that the institution can support the faculty with. Now, how to develop the course pack? First of all, what the university has to do is engage the faculty members. First of all, the pilot of the project is very, very important. So what we did at our university was to engage one faculty member in designing the course pack using the OERs. A library person was attached with the faculty member to do this process. And what was the next step? That they had to refine their designed course pack, and it has to be reviewed so it is fit to serve as a model course pack. Now, it's very important to document the entire process. You can call it an SOP or a process document, but the library and the engaged faculty person should prepare a process document for everyone to comply with later on. And lastly, a hands-on workshop. CLT can jump in for the logistics and implementation part, and library personals can work as facilitators. They have to come together and arrange a synchronous workshop for the faculty for a hands-on preparation. Note that this workshop that has to be recorded or documented in any format, so faculty can review it later on as well. If you have, if you want to know that what are the right platforms, what is the difference between open licensing and OERs, what are Creative Commons licensing, and this is one of the briefs by CLT. You may scan this QR code, and then you can access and read the brief for your convenience. This is a treat for you. Thank you so much.